The night the nanny decided to look under the little girl's bed was the same night everyone else in the mansion believed she might not survive until morning. For months, the millionaire's daughter had been fading away like a candle slowly losing its flame. Doctors came and went. Specialists from different cities examined her. Expensive medicines filled the cabinets of the mansion's private clinic. Yet nothing seemed to work. Every day the girl grew weaker, paler, quieter, as if something invisible was draining the life out of her. But what no one realized was that the real reason for her illness had been hiding just a few inches beneath her bed all along. Before we continue, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who believes kindness can change lives, and subscribe to the channel. Also tell us in the comments where you're watching from. If you believe in second chances and quiet heroes who change the world without anyone noticing, this story is for you. The mansion stood on a quiet hill outside the city, surrounded by tall iron gates and perfectly trimmed gardens. Inside lived Victor Hale, a powerful businessman whose companies were worth billions. His name appeared in newspapers almost every week, usually beside headlines about success, investments, or influence. Yet inside that grand house, none of that wealth seemed to matter anymore. Victor's only daughter, 8-year-old Lily, had been sick for nearly a year. At first it seemed like small things. She complained about headaches. Then came the sleepless nights. Then the constant exhaustion. Soon she stopped playing outside, stopped eating normally, and stopped smiling the way she used to. Doctors tested everything they could think of. Blood tests, brain scans, allergy panels, neurological exams. Every result came back almost normal. Stress, one doctor suggested. Rare immune condition, another guessed. Psychological fatigue, said a third. But no treatment helped. Lily's skin became pale like winter sunlight. Dark circles grew under her eyes. She lost weight. Some mornings she was too weak to even sit up. Victor watched helplessly as his daughter slowly slipped away, and it was the one problem money couldn't solve. Nannies came and left frequently during that time. Many couldn't handle the emotional pressure of caring for a child who seemed constantly on the edge of collapse. Then one quiet afternoon, a new nanny arrived. Her name was Maria Santos. Maria wasn't young, glamorous, or impressive on paper. She was a middle-aged woman with gentle eyes and tired hands that carried the marks of a long life of work. She had taken care of children for more than 20 years. But Maria had something most people overlooked. She paid attention. The first thing she noticed about Lily was how polite the girl was, even when she was sick. The second thing she noticed was something far stranger. Lily was always worse at night. Every evening the same pattern happened. During the day Lily seemed weak but stable. By evening she became restless. By midnight she was often trembling, sweating, or struggling to breathe. By morning she was exhausted and barely conscious. Maria had seen many sick children before. But this pattern didn't feel like illness. It felt like something else. One night, around 2 a.m., Maria heard a faint sound from Lily's bedroom. Not crying, not coughing, a scratching noise, soft, slow, like something dragging across wood. Maria quietly opened the door and stepped inside. Moonlight filtered through the curtains, casting pale shadows across the room. Lily lay in bed, tossing weakly in her sleep. The scratching sound stopped. Maria stood still for a moment, listening carefully. Silence. She checked Lily's temperature. Slight fever, but nothing unusual. Maria adjusted the blanket and was about to leave when Lily whispered weakly in her sleep. "Please, stop." Maria froze. The girl's eyes were closed, but her fingers gripped the blanket tightly as if she were frightened. Maria leaned closer, wondering if the child was dreaming. Then she heard it again. Scratch, scratch, scratch. This time the sound came clearly from beneath the bed. Maria slowly looked down. The shadows under the bed were thick and dark. At first she assumed it might be a mouse or loose wood shifting. But something about the sound felt too deliberate. Maria knelt carefully and leaned down to look under the bed. At first she saw nothing but darkness. Then her eyes adjusted, and what she saw made her heart drop. A small electronic device was attached to the underside of the bed frame, blinking with a faint red light. It was no bigger than a phone charger, but thin wires extended from it toward the mattress support. Maria stared at it in confusion. She didn't know exactly what it was, but she knew one thing instantly. It did not belong there. Carefully, she reached under and pulled the device free. The scratching sound stopped immediately. The blinking light turned off. Maria held the device in her hands, feeling a strange vibration inside it. She didn't understand technology well, but she understood instincts. Something about this was very wrong. The next morning, Maria showed the device to Victor. At first he assumed it might be part of the bed's adjustable system. But when he called the house maintenance team, they confirmed something shocking. The bed had no electronic components at all. Victor's face turned pale. He immediately contacted a security technician. Within 2 hours, the truth began to unfold. The device was a small electromagnetic emitter. It produced low-frequency pulses designed to interfere with sleep cycles and neurological signals. In simple terms, it could slowly make someone extremely sick without leaving obvious medical evidence. Victor felt his stomach twist as the technician explained the details. The pulses were strongest at night, exactly when Lily's symptoms were worst. Someone had placed the device there deliberately. Someone who had access to the room. Someone inside the house. Victor's security team began reviewing weeks of surveillance footage from the mansion. Staff members were questioned one by one. Cameras from hallways and service corridors were analyzed frame by frame. Then, finally, they found something. 3 months earlier, one of Victor's recently hired financial advisors had been recorded entering Lily's bedroom late at night while everyone else slept. At the time it seemed harmless. The man claimed he had been checking on a noise. But now the footage looked very different. The advisor, Daniel Cross, had worked closely with Victor on several large investments. And what investigators soon discovered shocked everyone. Daniel had secretly been losing millions in unauthorized trades using Victor's company funds. If Victor discovered the fraud, Daniel would go to prison. But if Victor became distracted by a family crisis, if the billionaire suddenly needed to step away from his businesses, then the financial chaos might remain hidden long enough for Daniel to escape. The plan had been cruel and calculated. Make Lily slowly, mysteriously ill. Drain Victor emotionally and mentally. Create a crisis that would shift attention away from the company finances. But Daniel never expected something simple. A nanny who noticed small details. Police arrested Daniel within days. The device was confirmed as the source of Lily's mysterious illness. Once it was removed, something remarkable began to happen. Within a week, Lily started sleeping normally. Within 2 weeks, her appetite returned. Within a month, the pale color left her skin and laughter returned to the halls of the mansion. Doctors who had once been baffled now watched in amazement as the child recovered faster than anyone expected. But Victor knew exactly who deserved the real credit. Not the doctors. Not the investigators. It was Maria, the quiet nanny who simply listened carefully in the middle of the night. One afternoon, Victor walked into the garden where Lily and Maria were sitting under a large oak tree. Lily was drawing pictures while Maria watched her with a warm smile. Victor realized something in that moment. For the first time in a year, his daughter looked happy. And it was because someone had cared enough to notice what everyone else had missed. Victor later offered Maria something extraordinary. A lifetime position in the household with a salary that would change her life forever. But Maria asked for something simpler. She asked only to keep caring for Lily. Because in her words, children didn't need luxury. They needed someone who truly paid attention. Before we finish the story, we have a special request for you. Comment below with the word kindness if you believe small acts of care can change someone's life more than money ever could. Years later, when Lily was healthy and thriving, she often told people the story of the night a nanny saved her life simply by looking under a bed. Not with fancy tools, not with medical training, but with something much rarer. Attention. Because sometimes the biggest dangers hide in the smallest places. And sometimes the heroes who save us are the quiet ones no one notices, until it's almost too late. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes kindness still exists in the world, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this. Because somewhere out there tonight, someone might be saved by a person who simply cared enough to look a little closer.